So yeah, I'm here with two gents from LMS Precision, and you're the perfect candidates for today's live. You've got Matsuura's and you've got Muratex. Roger, what do you think of the Matsuura's?
Well, they're just fantastic, aren't they? That is why we went for the Muratex as well. We've never dealt with a better company than Matsuura, so if we get the backup and service for the Matsuura's, we'll get the same with the Muratex.
Couldn't put it better myself. Scott, you're the partner at LMS. You run these babies, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they're great. Absolutely great. Yeah, so far so good.
How easy are they to program? There's a lot going on in that machine.
Yeah, they are easy, to be fair. Just, if you can program a couple of spindles, it's got 3 programs, but the third one really is just for the pickup. So yeah, it's great.
Thanks, guys. Sorry to pounce on you like that. Appreciate your time. And now we're going to speak to Mark, and we're going to be talking about the MT100. It's a beast of a machine, isn't it?
Morning, Joe. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah, we love it. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So just briefly, tell us about the machine. The first thing I noticed, 9 tonne. It's a tiny footprint, but 9 tonne.
It is, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's a substantial machine for sure. Some of the the design characteristics that go into the machine tool, obviously, the fact that it's got a box guideway in the y-axis, it is a true 90-degree y-axis, but also the fact, you've got the mass behind the stability of the spindles as well. So, the mass helps give you better parts.
Yeah, you need about the thermal stability. Obviously, these are producing some very accurate parts, aren't they? So, how are we getting the thermal stability?
They have thermal compensation as standard built into them. There's a number of sensors throughout all of the axis slides and both spindles, just designed to obviously try and control temperature growth into the machine as best we can.
If we look in the machine, we can see twin spindle, twin turret. Tell us a little bit about the turret.
So on the MT100, we have 2 15-station turrets, all driven, plus minus 30 mil on the y-axis stroke. The benefit of having a 15-station turret is that we have quite a large diameter turret, so we can get 2 adjacent centerline working tools to the centerline without any interference on the next tool against the chucking.
And obviously we've got driven tools, we've got y-axes, Tell us how powerful is it? Because we've just spoke to LMS Precision, they do some tricky materials.
They do, yeah. The Murata is quite powerful for a driven tool lathe for sure. The MT200, which is the next one up from this, we have 14.5 kilowatts available on the driven tool, which is substantially higher than a lot of its competitors out there.
And if 2 turrets isn't enough?
You can have 3, yeah, again all driven, y-axis on all 3 turrets. But in addition to that, 3 turrets are very much geared towards the type of production you're doing. Yeah, not everyone's going to go for a 3-turret machine, but they'll probably go for a 2-turret machine. The benefit of the Murata as well is the fact that, as we see it here today, we have the unloader. You could have a gantry, you could have a twin gantry. It's also possible to have the machine with a gantry and a bar loader, so you get the best of both worlds, really.
What I like about this machine, pretty much all the people in this building sell lathes with automation. Yep. But this is almost, if you don't want automation, it becomes a non-standard product. It comes as standard.
It does, yeah, and that's the reason why Matsuura have been supporting and selling Murata for the past, I think it's about 14 years now. Matsuura's philosophy is all about unmanned running. It always has been for the last 30 plus years. So for us to partner with a lathe manufacturer that offers the same idea, same design ethos, is very good for us, very strong for us as a brand selling in the UK. And as you say, if you want a machine without the gantry, then it becomes a special, really. But the most popular spec is as we see it here. So it's twin turret, twin spindle, the unloader. The benefit of the unloader on this machine is, with this latest design, we can unload a component which is the length between the 2 spindles.
I think that's really important. If we look at this machine, it's basically the largest component. It's it's width of that door essentially, isn't it?
It is, yes. You can, if we were to open the door, the gap in the top of it is the complete door.
So 600 mil-ish.
Exactly, yeah. And on the bigger machine, the 200, we can get up to 700 mil as well.
And that's fairly unique, isn't it? Because obviously a lot of these machines, we all know what parts catchers are and how they look.
Yeah.
But not many parts eject in a 600 mil part.
No, that's right. I mean, most of the competitors, the parts catchers are based around the maximum bar size that you can get through the spindle, and the maximum part length might be 140, 200 tops. But on this machine, as I said, if you're doing some shaft work, some longer components, on here, 600 mil, 5 kilos, and I think it's 8 kilos on the bigger machine, and nearly 700 mil long.
Now, if we just step back, I want the cameraman to see the footprint of this machine. It's people are going to be surprised at the capacity, aren't they? For such a small machine, the actual capacity, it's stunning.
That's, for sure, yes. And bear in mind, both spindles are identical. Yeah, they're both the same specification, both the same diameter through the spindle. It's only when you go for the 65mm on this machine, on the main spindle, that you then go up a side in its spindle nose to an A26, but the sub spindle still remains the same.
And for users, well, people that don't know of Muratec, tell us about the CNC control.
Again, it's Murata put quite a lot of their own ideas and technology into it. It's a FANUC 31i control, it's a 3 series control. But one of the benefits really is if an operator is running the machine and they need to interrupt the process, the machine will record where it is. It'll remember where it is. So if you were to take a part out of the sub spindle, let's say to inspect it, and you hadn't finished on the main spindle, it wouldn't continue with the sub spindle work. It would wait until it's completed the main spindle before it would then go back to its process of doing whatever it's doing on the sub spindle. It just makes it very safe for the operators if they need to stop the machine, get into the machine, do something, change something. The machine will remember where it is, press start, and it will carry on.
And we can see here, this is the MT100. But what else is in the range? If this isn't big enough for you.
Right, okay, so this is the MT is the inline spindle range, so there's 100 and 200 size. Away from that, we then go to the parallel spindle machines, which are on a different level completely, and they can start with some very small work, sub 50mm diameter with a platen type, 2 parallel spindles next to each other, twin gantries. Our fastest gantry load unload time is 5 seconds on a Murata. And the biggest size we go up to is a 400 diameter parallel spindle machine, and at that point you're 170 kilos being loaded through the machine as well.
Incredible. And my final point on this, traditionally we saw these in large blue chip manufacturers, automotive in particular, with high volumes. I'm seeing these in jobbing shops, in SMEs, where volumes aren't as great as they used to be. Is that a trend you're seeing?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's following the same idea as Matsuura. It's about having short, small batches, but lots of variety and quick changeovers. I mean, obviously you were talking to Roger from LMS earlier. He's a good advocate of our machine tools. He has 2 of them, very successful, but lots of variety that he's producing.
Okay, thank you very much. So if you want more information on the Muratec MT100, I suggest you get to the show, and if you can't, speak to Matsuura.